Hi everyone, this is Arcadius, and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we will be reviewing the next to last world mission, that is 4-3. But before we get to that, it is update day, so let's take a look to see what new material has been released. First off, we now have a new British battlecruiser in the game, that being Renowned. She was previewed before, but she is now released for Prisms. She's about 30 bucks in US dollars. I will be getting her sometime soon. I don't know when that is though. Uh, Kind of interested in this ship. Kind of feel like it's not going to be exactly what I want. I don't really like Repulse all that much, and this is just a Repulse with better AA. So I'm kind of on the edge about how I feel about the ship, but Prism ship, you can grind for XP with it, so might as well get her. And also, I just like the collector's ability. Next, we have, let's see what else we have. Well, we have the ability to look at one of the newer American cruisers. So I mentioned in a video not too long ago how there's 4 new cruisers coming out with Norfolk, Oregon City, Albany, and Vallejo. And we are able to preview one of those cruisers now, that being Norfolk, which is the Baltimore with 3 twin 12-inch guns. She is a matchmaking 7.5, which I found was extremely interesting considering it's a Baltimore at 8.2, except you have a changing guns. I have not compared the stats at all. The update literally came up less than an hour ago. Um, so more on that later on, but we can at least look at the ship and see what kind of stats she has. I will say she has a very, very nice camo. Let's take a look. Look at this camo. It's beautiful. I love it. Uh, Twin 12-inch guns. Everything else is literally a Baltimore. I haven't found any differences, at least in the model so far. I can't say that for the entire ship. They have to work on the catapults a little bit, though there's a floating Hellcat in the air. Regardless, I am interested to see how the ship is, and at tier 7.5, that means she will have the biggest guns at this tier, because the highest you can go is well, if she's really bottom tier, she'll match up against 8.5s, and at that point, she'll meet in Alaska. But most of the time, she'll just be in tier 8, I would assume. And this largest gun caliber currently is not Massachusetts. It's Scharnhorst and Prince Heinrich with 11s or 283s. So she'll have the largest guns for a cruiser, and but she'll only have 6 of them. So I expect limited usage, but pretty devastating damage. I think she will be a good cruiser killer, but she'll struggle against destroyers and honestly probably battleships as well. So she might be good against cruisers, but that's about it, I would assume. I'm guessing carriers, considering American AA defense. But that is an upcoming ship. Um, Not much stats right now. She is a diamond ship, which I found interesting. I wonder if all 4 of these ships are going to be diamond ships. There is not too many cruisers that you can get for the American that are prism ships. So Helena is a diamond ship. You have Newport News, which is technically a prism ship, but also technically a star coin ship. Alaska, which is prisms. Wichita is a diamond ship. Cheyenne is a rank point ship. And Guam is also a prism ship. But besides Alaska and Guam, and technically Newport News, there's no real prism ships. And there's quite a few, well, Helena and Wichita are both diamond ships. I don't think we need a lot of diamond ships in this game. Um, so it makes me wonder if the other 3 cruisers are going to be similar, because I expected this to be an entirely new branch. Uh, Not quite sure how they would fit it in, honestly, but I mean, it's possible. We'll see. It sounds like they're just going to make a bunch of free XP diamond and prism ships and then toss them all out there. And America has quite a few of them, though maybe some of them might be rank point ships as well. But we already have Cheyenne, so maybe not. Who knows? Last big part of the update, we have a new sister ship, and it is quite interesting. So I'm going to show off some other sister ships first to give you a general idea, and then show you the new one that came out today. So, most recent sister ships we've had, and it's a British sister ship, mine, by the way. So we've had Lion. You can kind of see pretty standard, pretty nice camo, nothing too flashy. We have Centurion, also not too flashy. You have a nice flag on the deck, pretty nice. The camo's nice. I remember when this first came out. We had Vanguard, and we had a little bit of color, not too much, pretty nice overall. And then we also have Victoria, which honestly is interesting to say the least. But then we have the sister ship for Monarch, and I renamed her Diana. And she is very interesting, but very beautiful. I actually really like this camo, but she does definitely stand out amongst other British camouflages. So yeah, I'm not upset. Kind of surprised. I expected something more traditional, but I really like the camo. I like the colors. I kind of like it. Um, so yeah, that's the newest sister ship in the game right now, and I actually am looking forward to playing with her and seeing how she looks in game. No stats change at all or anything like that, and there's no effect to the shells. But yeah, that's the newest sister ship. Speaking about sister ships, we are going to be using another one of my favorite sister ships today, and that is the sister ship for the O-class German cruiser Tier 9. I really love this sister ship, and it just came out, was it, a couple weeks ago or so, like that. And we will be using the O-class, or as I have renamed the actual ship, Lean, and the sister ship, Mines, and we are going to be using her for 4-3 today. Now, this is kind of a special mission. It's the easiest out of all the 4-whatever missions, but it does kind of start off with a bang. And I will actually be using defensive AA instead of Hydro today, and you'll soon see why. So without further ado, let's toss her into the Coral Sea. So on our side, we have a Lexington, a Yorktown, which might be another Lexington, don't know. We have some New Orleans, we have what looks like a Pensacola, some Sims, some Farragut's. Don't always trust the little image icons for the ship, because I've learned that they're not always accurate. And we have 2 Shikakus, a Shoho, 2 Miyokos, 2 Ayobas, 2 Feritakas, 2 Tenryus, and then some Fubukis and Mutskis and such. So the actual targets themselves are relatively weak. However, you do start all by yourself, and the carriers immediately attack you right off the bat. You're singled out immediately. So that's why you kind of need a ship with pretty strong AA, just to make sure that you are able to knock down enough of the aircraft that your ship is, well, still intact by the end. But as soon as you take out all the aircraft, it's a walk in the park, because you have tier 3 and 5 and 7 ships you're going up against. It's not that hard, especially if you get to this part and you're using tier 9 and 10 ships. Yeah, it's really easy. And at least I was focused on by the carriers the last time I did this. But apparently they spawned on a different side this time. And that's upsetting. I wanted to take them all out. Because in this case, Hydra would be better. Oh well. Alright, so let's just start slapping everything. This ship is really, really good. I do have a secondary crew skill applied as well. I think I have the main armament module applied though, so it's not so far the secondaries can go. But I really don't need full secondaries on the ship. As good as they are, they're not going to be the most powerful. Alright, and so since we decided to go with defensive AA instead of Hydro, because I expected to be focused on by the carrier the first time, we're going to have to play Dodge the Invisible Torpedo for the entire game. But that's fine with me, because it's really not that hard. You just have to be unpredictable and zigzag and eliminate the targets that can actually launch torpedoes at you before they can do that. Let's switch back to explosive. For this specific cruiser, you have two choices of armament. You can either equip 3 triple 283mm guns, or you can equip 3 twin 15-inch or 381mm guns. Now the 15s do give you more damage and slightly better accuracy with the new update that came out for it not too long ago. However, I do find myself liking the rate of fire and the number of shells that the 283s give me. And honestly, the 15s are more of a match for battleships, and this ship is not really supposed to go up against battleships. You have the firepower and the torpedoes, you just don't have the armor. If you bow into anything with 16-inch guns, it'll just go right through your nose without a problem. So yeah, and even just using high explosive on the 283s, I'm usually getting a lot of damage. There we go. And that's most of those ships sunk. And now we just have to work on everything else. Alright, so we can already see one Shikaku. So let's send some shells her way. She's actually moving, that's interesting. It didn't look like she was. And it looks like we have a ton of destroyers over here as well. I kind of want to use my defensive AA, so I'm kind of hoping the carriers actually start attacking me. That would be nice, though I don't think we're going to give them a chance considering we keep taking them out. And it looks like the other carriers all the way in the corner over there. I saw some strike aircraft come from that direction. Okay, so we're kind of focused on here, so let's pop our defensive AA and start taking them down. The AA on the, I want to say the last 4 German cruisers, and what I mean by that is Prince Eugen, Prince Heinrich, Lean, and Magdeburg all have really, really decent AA stats, and they'll take down a ton of aircraft. So you're pretty much down. You are in smoke. Let's launch some torpedoes just for the heck of it. It's not like we can't sink any of these ships by our guns anyways. I am kind of worried about torpedoes here. Really wish I had a hydro. Let's launch some more torpedoes because we have some. And it looks like we actually missed on the first set, which is surprising because it looked like she was moving forwards, so I don't know how she started moving backwards all of a sudden. But she will take those torpedoes. And we're going to take some torpedoes ourselves. But I'd rather take the airborne torpedoes than destroyer torpedoes. Immediately get a flooding, that's always nice. Right now we have 2 cruisers and 1 carrier left. What are those 2 cruisers? I'm betting they're Tenryus. Hey, I am correct. Alright, so high explosive all the way. Let's go finish up the rest of these ships. So you can see it's not that hard. Like I said, the first time I did this mission, I was all by myself, and the carriers spawned on my side, and all 3 carriers had their strikes attack me. I was able to survive because I was in Magdeburg at that time, but I thought that was going to be something that would happen all the time in this mission, but apparently it's not, which is upsetting because I was kind of looking forward to it. But yeah, this mission isn't that hard at all. You have really low tier ships, no battleships at all. Yeah, it's pretty much a walk in the park. But it's the calm before the storm, because tomorrow's video with the Battle of Midway will be very, very, very difficult. And we're going to try our best to win it, but I don't really have my breath, or not holding my breath about that. So we saw a strike aircraft from over here earlier, so I'm pretty positive the last few ships are going to be over here. And we're making our way there at about 39.5 knots. So we just have to wait until we can see them. One thing about this ship is it does not carry a fighter, so no air spotting right now, but that's fine. But just take a moment to look at this camo. It's so beautiful. I'm going to keep talking about it because it's really one of the best camos that this game has ever come out with, in my opinion. It's absolutely gorgeous. Alright, so we still have a couple defensive AAs left, just in case the carrier has any aircraft left over. However, we have shot down 41 aircraft already. That is pretty decent for a German cruiser, I would say. Torpedoes are all reloaded. They reload really fast. Our guns are all reloaded. Again, they reload really fast. Secondaries. This ship is amazing. It does have very high freeboard, so she can be more susceptible to chunk damage. Oh, it's a Shoho. Oh, you're not even a threat. But I mean, honestly, I have no complaints about the ship at all. And Shoho likes to think she's going to get her dive bombers towards me. Little does she know, I think I'm going to be able to shoot them all down. Or at least I should be able to. And yep, there we go. Alright, now, let's see. Are the Tenryus over here as well, like I expect? So I'm just now realizing we sank 12 ships. It doesn't feel like we did. But I was just kind of slapping some cruisers around earlier, so I think that's where that all came from. Who knows? Also, 28 fires. Pretty nice. Right. I'm not spotted, but they could also just be around the island here. Well, at least not here. Maybe over here? And you can still see the majority of our team is still alive. We lost 4 destroyers. That's it. And what did we lose those 2? All to carriers. 2 of them to one Shikaku, 1 to another, and then the last one to a Shoho. So yeah, the actual surface fleet of the enemy did absolutely nothing. And it looks like the majority of our ships are still pretty healthy. There's a couple damaged New Orleans. But besides that, nothing at all. And let's see, we have Lexington over there and Yorktown. So yeah, we had 2 Lexingtons on our side. Alright, and I think I'm going to have to pause the video until we can actually find these ships, so we're just not spending 10 minutes sailing around doing nothing. So I will see you in a minute. Alright, I had a sneaking suspicion that they were actually over here, and it turned out to be right. Which is pretty lucky, because I was about to head all the way down south. So let's get behind them so they can't torpedo us. And our secondaries are definitely going to be able to work these over, as well as our main guns as well. And let's just finish these up. We are going to be in the wall, but it doesn't matter because the ship will be sunk in, well, pretty soon. Alright, and there we have our game. So let's see how we were able to do. Not expecting a big damage number, but a victory is a victory. 338,000 damage, 14 ships sunk, 171 shell hits, 3 torpedo hits, 45 aircraft shot down, 9 citadels, 30 fires, 1 flooding, 4 modules destroyed, and 192 secondary hits. We did 159,000 damage in high explosive 11s. We did 39,000 damage in armor piercing 11-inch. Fires did 45,000 damage. Secondary battery did 58,000 damage. And torpedoes did 35,500 damage. So pretty respectable damage numbers. The ship is amazing. It can trash destroyers, cruisers, carriers, and to an extent battleships, but your armor just doesn't sometimes match up to what it needs to be. We're going to switch this out before I forget. And yeah, this mission 4-3, what was it again? Coral Sea. Yeah, it's not hard at all. It really takes some bad attempts to fail that mission, I would say. If you have a good enough ship at a high enough tier, obviously if you try it with something like Kawachi, you're not going to win. Or at least if you do, good luck. But yeah, not a hard mission. That will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content. And join me tomorrow while we go over the final world mission, that is 4-4, the Battle of Midway. And this will be the hardest one yet. Harder even than the Battle of Samar. So yeah, come back tomorrow and we'll be going over that one. So again, thank you and take care.